Hola Colchoneros, this is me, Alex, and I have with me as usual Saint Keeks. Welcome to Atleti Fanatics, and I mean, we are in a very complicated situation because I'll start with myself. I went to sleep with like a happy face, finally we won our first Club World Cup game and everything, and then I woke up with such a bizarre news that Atleti is almost out of the Club World Cup, which I mean, I was like, wait, hang on, what's going on? And then I was like, Botafogo can't really defeat PSG, like, did they? And then I checked Google and I just searched the Club World Cup, and then I was like, 1-0. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, seriously? PSG, like, you score four passes and then you can't even score like one goal against Botafogo. I was really surprised actually with that. But anyway, moving on to the match actually. So we're doing the review of the game against Seattle Sounders. I mean, I don't know what to say. I'm really happy for Pablo Barrios and Giuliano Simeone. And besides that, I think me, it was like more of I don't know, like a frustrating win because we could have get more out of it, more we discussed in the preview as well that this game should finish above 5 goals for sure, because again we have to get that goal difference and positive, which we had a chance actually, and which again would have been useful to us in the upcoming game against Botafogo, because now right now we're in a very complicated situation because again I don't know what to say, to be honest. Like, I'll talk about the things which I've learned from this game is we definitely need a good center back. That's for sure. We definitely need to spend something big on the center back situation, and we really need to have a conversation about Robin Lenormand. I mean, for us, he's a different kind of player, and like for Spain, he is different. It's just like DePaul situation. Talking about DePaul was awful against against Seattle, to be honest. Uh, Again, left back. We need a left back as well. I mean, like we've been telling this for like months and months and months. We need a good left back. I mean, I remember like the last 10 minutes, Javi Galan was eating grass by like Seattle wingers, they made him eat grass. Literally, they made him eat grass. And then
Mm.
we need a left back, we need a center back, and again, like we've been saying, like we've been talking about this when Sorlot scored 4 goals as well. Like we need a striker, like who should be our number one, like main number nine for next season. We do need a good clinical finisher for next season because Sorlot is good as a sub, but again, as a starter, he's not really that good. Again, we can't be in a situation where like we can't really expect consistency from our number nine because again, Sorlot, we've seen he missed three sitters in a row. Again, PSG, we all know. Again, I don't know like what XG is gonna be on that good. That was literally a tap in, and then against Seattle as well. Yesterday, it was so easy. I mean, like again, I don't know what to say. Like he did such a good movement, just with the ball, and then I don't like why he sometimes goes for power, and then he literally sends the ball. Literally, I think the ball went off the stadium. That one, that for sure.
Hmm.
The one he took on the chest, and then the next one, I would say, again, he bullet passed every defender. He showed great composure, but again, I mean, like he could have even passed it to DePaul
What what
actually,
what was it that
but
we
then
said a few times before this? We said we literally said both of us were saying he does all of the right actions and then he doesn't finish.
exactly like the end product, like it's not there. And again, like he could have even passed it to DePaul, and that would have helped in goal difference as well. I mean, we look at these three chances; they were huge chances. We could have been like in positive goal difference as of right now. And then again, Alvarez missed a few chances as well, for sure. I mean, like again, I expected him to score that one as well, but again, he did not. But again, Alvarez is again, I would say at least like he contributes in different types of things. But sort of just like your main job is to like just score goals. That's it. Just do it. And then I would say again, I mean, like we need someone on that left hand side, that's for sure as well, because I don't remember like the last time we had someone who could like dribble past any player. We don't really have a dribbler in our team. That's really sad to see that we don't have a dribbler in our team. And then let's just talk about the first half actually. And obviously, also talking about Pablo Barrios actually before we start talk about the first half, like playing as a number eight, Pablo Barrios is definitely a different player. I mean, like he just literally gets all of that freedom and like he just plays freely. And again, like those late runs in the box as well. Like yesterday, I mean, we definitely need a defensive midfielder so that Pablo Barrios can push forward as well. And like he can finally be that kind of a midfielder who can actually like like go on and like become that proper number eight, which we definitely need. And talking about that, we also need a creative playmaker in a team, which we don't have in
Mhm.
midfield. If let's say if DePaul is having one of his bad games, that's it. There is no creativity in our team, which is really really sad to see. But anyway, I'll talk to you about St. Keeks. What do you think? What are your takeaways from the game against Seattle Sounders?
I I think I have a similar feeling where it's like I think even when before I finished the game, I was like the problem was always a simple one, which is like a 3-1 is a good win, but in a better world, a clean sheet is almost like a guarantee for situations like this. It's something that you should strive for Atletico. And then follow up, we had more than as you said, there was three different chances. There's the Alvarez one in the first half. There's the two Solot ones, right? You score. I'm not saying you have to score all three, but there were such clear chances that maybe you need to score at least two. And if you come into the first half with 3-0, you go into the second half where you have a chance to really push and get that little goal difference to push and finish off the season. Well, I guess this game, right? The reality now is um, it's come into the situation. So this is now Solot's third major missed chance, big chance missed in this tournament so far. He hasn't scored any goals. Alvarez hasn't scored either, but I guess because it was offside the other time. But the difference is Alvarez does so much outside of just scoring goals that you won't get the same criticism because half of the time that he's even in the chance to create these situations, he's doing it by himself, and then the other times is he's either facilitating or creating for other players or making runs for these other players. It's not that Swallow is useless. That's the frustrating part of it, is that he is very useful. He does draw these defenders away. He does create those chances for himself. He does have capabilities. It's just that when we need you to really crunch, you don't always do it. Sometimes you will. Maybe we go into the Botafogo game and Solot scores a hat trick in like the first 10 minutes, and then everything we just said here means nothing, and we're on our way to like the thing where it's like we don't know. That's the problem with Solot. He doesn't give you guarantees. So the problem is that he doesn't give you any guarantees, and he can be a really really top striker, but there's also games where he just doesn't give you enough in terms of the goals, in terms of the finishing that we really want you to have, and that's the frustrating part of him. When you look at the midfield today, on the day, we saw what Barrios could do on and off the ball, as per usual. But we got a nice added kick of a Barrios brace where he could do something special. There's a sort of a thought process where it's like, okay, well, if Barrios could do this in this position alongside the DM that he did the other day, alongside, it's like, well, you basically just need to go into the market and find another Barrios. Like, like that's the solution here. It's like the solution is, can we buy a player who is at Barrios level or will be at Barrios level in time in the DM position, in the center midfield position, or in the attacking midfield position. I think Bayena is already at the in his role. He's already at that level and possibly higher than that for attacking midfielder. I'm not sure if Cardoso is at for DM. Um, do I think he'll hit that peak? I'm not sure either. That's one of those things I'm not 100% convinced about. I hope he does. I hope all of my problems think, but you look at the squad today, or sorry, on the day, you look at what we did in the first half, and you think to yourself, even though we were winning 1-0, that could have easily been a 3-4-0 with a better play, like better plans, like planned squad, especially in the back line. as you said with Lamond, you feel like he plays differently with Spain and thing. I agree to some extent, but I just think he was never a player I was super fond for. I just feel like he had moments where it felt like he was going to be more than for us, and then the injury kind of just changed it a bit. But the reality is, from a sporting point of view, can you guarantee that Lenormand next season will give you that same spark and these other things in your back line? And if not, then what do you choose? You know, so I guess we'll move on from that and we'll start talking about the second half. What was your thoughts on the second half, Alex?
Oh, I think like we haven't even started on the first half actually. We're straight up going second half. I think the major action happened in first half only, because like I think we had like more chance in the first half. Second half was like still I think it was 50-50, but first half I think it was again
We
or
forgot to
less.
mention the Giuliano penalty decision. Wow, wow,
First half,
wow. Yeah, that's
first
first
half, we
half.
first half we're getting there. We're getting there. Okay, so yeah, I mean, like, so first 10 minutes again. So it was I mean like very very good pressing from us. Again, my question: why can't we do this against PSG?
Mm-hmm.
If you really want to like I've seen this like when we want to press, we do press up front. Like it's like we can press against literally every other team, and it's like the same. Whoever the team is, we've seen against Real Madrid. At home, we press them in a different way. Barcelona, same. We just press them differently, and then when away from home, we don't press them in that matter. You know what I mean? So I
I think
think
that
Simeone
just
should
it
have.
comes with the risk, no? It's like the I'm not saying that that's the guarantee, but it's just I guess it comes with the risk.
Yeah, but I think again, I mean, like PSG scored four past us. Like, what do you expect? Like you can like just sit
True,
back and then do
true.
nothing. So like you get me. I mean, like we need to like I think Steven needs to see like which games like he really needs to like like go and like again I will say Botafogo, the game against Botafogo on Monday. I think again we need 3 goals to go past the group stage, and you will see us press up front. You will literally see us playing in their half. But anyway, moving on from that, I would say the first half, first 10 minutes, it was great again. So like the first chance was again from Julian Alvarez, which again like there was numerous bodies in the box, and then somehow it reached Alvarez. Alvarez created space, just went on, and then again that should have been 1-0 easily within the first 10 minutes. But again, it wasn't. And then we missed a wonderful chance. And then we just went on. Giuliano Simone had like a really good game. I would say like the number of duels he won that game was literally superb. One fact, I think the last time the Atleti player won that many duels was in 2017, and that was Jimenez. So you can see that's literally after what are you gonna say 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so Giuliano again a great run. Again, one thing I want to say, like we really lack pace up front. Like if we see the option we have, like like to get past that back line, it's only Giuliano Simeone. We don't really have that much pace up
Maybe
front.
Alvarez. Like Alvarez is
Alvarez
fast-ish,
is
but it's like that's not his
yeah,
game, you know?
exactly. But for example, like we are on a counter attack, so like like Giuliano Simeone is he really loved because again the first
Come
goal
on, man.
came from the counter attack as well. Sorloth got the ball, he played through ball to Giuliano, and then again like he was running back of the defenders, and then so we need those pacey players in our team. But anyway, moving on again. So Giuliano again, he just showed his composure and waited for Pablo Barrios. Pablo Barrios again playing as number 8, like he makes that run into the midfield, and what a finish! What a satisfying finish that was. It hit the crossbar, hit the ground, hit the crossbar again, and then back of the net. That was really satisfying to watch. And again, I really like that goal. It wasn't the top corners, but still it was a very satisfying goal. But 1-0 finally, and then I was like, yes, like this game can actually go 4-5, like because we had that momentum. And then came numerous chances we had. Sorloth again, chesting the ball. I thought that was goal. Again, he missed it. Great through ball from Julian Alvarez to Sorloth. And again, he bullied the defender. Again, he showed his composure. He dribbled past another defender who went sliding in, and then again, the ball was literally beside him. He could have done the same thing which Julian Alvarez did in the Girona game, where he literally set up Sorloth for the hat trick. He could have done the same, and that was
I don't.
literally 2-0. 2-0
I'm
at
not sure
that
if you
point.
saw him.
But
Did he see him?
I don't know, but again, like he would have, the Paul would have definitely called him. Like come
Yeah,
on,
yeah,
pass
yeah.
it. He was literally out in the open. But anyway, we couldn't score our chances, and then Seattle actually, like, they stayed in the game in the first half. They stayed in the game and they started to grow as the match progressed. And they had a few chances where Jimenez literally missed the ball, and I really thought that was 1-1. And somehow Oblak saved that goal, and then they had a few chances. They had a few shots blocked, and they were really good shots. They would have ended somewhere, that's for sure, because they were on target. But somehow, again, we managed the game 1-0. And then again, before the end of the first half, again, I would say amazing run from Giuliano. And how the hell is that not a penalty? If someone is watching this, please let us know how is that not a penalty? Seriously, explain me.
I
And
think I think
and and the
the
fact
more
that, like, it
dangerous
wasn't
thing
even
was
given as a foul. It wasn't even given as a
that
foul.
that's it. So if
I
it's
mean,
not a penalty, it still
exactly.
is a foul.
Like, even if the contact is outside the box, give the foul. Like, what do you mean by, like, like, I was so surprised, like, when the referee, like, no penalty. I was like, you know what, that's bullshit. But then he gave the ball to Seattle goalkeeper. I'm like, what the hell? Like, what? Like, someone explain this decision to me. Like, seriously, I mean, like, if your explanation is like it's outside the box, give the foul. And if you're saying it's not a foul, how the hell is not a foul? Like, seriously, like, what? And again, stupid decisions. Talking about the referee again, shoulder push, foul for against us. There were so many small things like he was giving against us. I could understand, but again, like, this is not happening for the first time with us. Like, we know referees are not with us. We should definitely not depend on the referees. We should play our own game. We should finish the game on our own. Never. I mean, like, we should be the last team to rely on the referees to give the decision in our favor. That's what it is. But again, that was a scandalous decision. I mean, like, if it was Real Madrid, I mean, like, I remember that Entric penalty last season.
That
I,
one,
I'm,
I still don't understand how that's a penalty, but whatever.
and there you go. That was the first half. Anyways, in case, so there you go. What are your thoughts on the first half?
Right. Oh, I have similar thoughts on you in terms of the overall gameplay and these other things. I guess uh, it's nice to see what we already know get confirmed again, but it's a little frustrating because it's like I think when you look at the game, I didn't like the fact that Seattle were given so much chances because earlier in the season I would have said I don't really mind when teams against us have chances because we're good at suffering is what I should at the start of the season where it's like being able to be comfortable in that low block, being able to take as many outside of the box shots as you want. You're not scoring against Oblak. I don't feel comfortable about that right now in this tournament. I didn't feel comfortable with PSG. They scored two outside the box shots, which is outside of this world, you know. And then this game again, where they were taking these shots and they had these chances, and it's like I think had it not been Oblak, maybe that would have been a very different game for us, you know. I think it's like it can't be that MLS wingers, with all due respect to the MLS, we pay Galan and Lenormand and all these other players a lot of money because we have a lot of either we're wrong for paying these players this kind of money and we need to allocate funds in a better way, or we are correct for paying players in these kind of ways and we just have the wrong player. One of the two is the problem. So more than likely, we need to like I think we both already stressed it enough, but the back line is a problem. Regardless of how I felt today, I think again the midfield is a little bit shaky. If the ball isn't on it on the day, we don't have a proper chance creator. If Barrios wants to overcompensate, he will. Koke was great, but his legs are not there, so you need a DM to really facilitate for him. And if Cabarrus is not playing DM, you can't get anything out of that same position, to be honest. So the frustration is the same, which is we're playing with the exact same problems, but it's looking worse and worse because we're playing against teams that we should be trouncing on. We should be the distance between us and MLS should be huge, but it felt like on the day itself, it wasn't that far. It's like I felt more comfortable when we played against Real Betis at home, watching that in terms of our capabilities than I did today against Seattle Sounders, where I was just like, well, okay, we got 3-1. Did I feel like we could have gotten more? Maybe. I don't know.
I mean,
That's how it is. Yeah.
that's true. I mean, they went like 2-2 against us. That's for sure. I mean, like the second half was like a disaster, to be honest, for me. I mean, like we were literally defending for our lives for the last 20 minutes, which again is really unacceptable for me against MLS side. Again, a team where there's no big name as well, you know. But anyway, we just move on to the second half. Again, it was still 1-0. I was really feeling frustrated in the first half because the chances we missed, and then the second half started, and then again there was a corner and absolute rocket from Lorente, and then and Witsel just came on, and Jimenez finally got injured. It was coming. Like we all knew, like Jimenez can't like go on for so long and long, staying fit. Jimenez is injured, which means again next game is Longley and Lenormand. I will check it to see. But anyway, talking about the game, Witsel had a pretty decent game as well. Witsel had a decent game, and then it was again a rocket from Lorente. The ball just came off the post. Fell to Lenormand. I would say Lenormand did a good thing over here. Instead of like going for the goal, he just literally passed it back inside the goal, and then Witsel scoring a tap in. I mean, like Sorlot. Like if you want to learn something, come on, learn something from Witsel itself. That's how you score tap ins. But anyway, that was 2-0, and I was like, yeah, finally, like we started the second half on a very, very good pace. Maybe there's room for more goals, and maybe like we can actually convert that goal difference into a positive one, which didn't happen, because what happened 3 minutes after, we conceded a goal, and such a stupid goal to concede. Literally, I don't know like what Lenormand was doing on that one. I don't know, like maybe like we just went on an easy mode. I have no idea, because again, that shouldn't have been a goal. I mean, like we should have been alerted. Javi Galan, again, I would say he's not even going for the ball. Like the player of Seattle, like he literally won the header easily. Easily, he was just standing there watching him jump, and then again, the ball just dropped to the Seattle player, and then that was 2-1. I mean, like wow, we can't even keep a clean sheet against Seattle. Like seriously, and it's really a shame. But anyway, the match moved on, and then we were making half chances. Not something big happened, and then again, one thing I really want to point out, like our defense was so leaky, like on the set pieces, on the long throw-ins by Seattle, like it was so leaky. Like we just couldn't clear the ball easily. I mean, like there was like they were creating some half chances with these long balls, these set pieces, the long throw-ins. Like our defense was literally so leaky. Like I was really surprised by that thing, because like like what kind of defense we even have. But anyway, Lorente again just came from a throw-in. So it's a throw-in. Someone wants the header. Drops it to Pablo Barrios. Again, a great finish by Pablo Barrios, I would say. That was, I think, was one of the best matches I've seen from Pablo Barrios. He was literally dominating the midfield, and there were some moments where he literally dribbling past players in tight spaces as well, which was again amazing to watch, and like it felt really good. Like we have someone actually, like who's can actually dominate the midfield. And then it was. I mean, I'm just imagining right now after that goal, like our substitutions came in, and then the quality literally dropped.
That was something I felt too.
And like it seems like the quality literally dropped, and then Giuliano Simeone was literally getting killed in the counterattacks. Someone was stepping on his toe, someone was literally grabbing him back, and then yeah, he was getting killed out there. And then Griezmann was just having a walk in the park. Korea, I mean, like he's leaving actually for Tigres. I can't really say anything to him because he's no longer our player actually. But
Yeah.
again, like the quality dropped so much. For the last 15-20 minutes, we were literally defending, and then we were defending that much that Simeone had to bring on a defender to like to secure this lead of 3-1 instead of like going for the goals, because again there was an opportunity, we didn't take it. And again, I don't like what our players were doing, the substitutions, because there was no hunger to go for that fourth goal or fifth goal. Griezmann, again, I was really disappointed by Griezmann as well. But anyway, the last 10-15 minutes, we were literally defending like we usually do against the La Liga sides. I mean, to the shame, we are doing against the MLS side as well with a heavy difference. But somehow the game ended 3-1. Uh, I wasn't really satisfied with it because, again, second half, I'm just imagine like if Pablo Barrios, let's say Pablo Barrios didn't have these like shooting boots he had. I mean, like the game could have ended in a draw.
As a possibility, as a distinct possibility.
Because we literally missed all of our chances, and then let's say Pablo Barrios, like he wasn't, let's say Pablo Barrios was playing as a six, he didn't go into these positions. Let's say Pablo Barrios didn't have those, that kind of a day when someone's having a day, like, everything works in their favor. I mean, like we're relying on Pablo Barrios after like spending 200 million last summer, where and like the only two players like who actually stepped up was again Giuliano and Pablo Barrios. That's it. That's it.
Mm.
It's really a shame to be honest. But anyway, so that was the match. It was again. I wasn't really satisfied, but it ended 3-1. Again, it was an opportunity to like I think to turn our goal difference into a positive one, and now we're in a mess. Now we're in a mess. We have a -2 goal difference, and Botafogo has a positive two goal difference, and we have to like win by at least 3 goal difference against Botafogo. I mean,
To have a
I
chance.
hope exactly. I hope Obed Vargas, who's a lifelong Atleti fan from Seattle, I hope he steps up against PSG. I hope he do something. I hope he comes in clutch or something because I mean, like, oh, again, like we all knew that we need to win the game against Botafogo. That's for sure. Because even if we like score 5-6 goals against Seattle, even if our goal difference is in positive, again, like the main object would have been winning the game against Botafogo. That's right? But
Yeah.
now the problem is we have to win by at least 3 goals, which is a task. We are making this game as some Champions League second leg game where we have
Hmm.
to score 3 goals in order to get past to the next stage. Which is again like we made this very complicated. It shouldn't have been this complicated, but yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, anyway, Saint Keeks, your thoughts on the second half?
I agree on a lot of what you said. I think is a spot on analysis where it's like it feels. I mean, a lot of what really pushed Atletico this last season were those home games, and then drawing a bit of that energy from those home games with the Atleti fans in those away games. I think our best away performance was the Valladolid game, obviously, because well, Valladolid wasn't great, but we played so well. The game ended 5-0, but that could have easily been 6, 7, 8-0 if we really wanted to push for it. You know what I mean? But that is not a normal occurrence. A lot of the away games that we play are these 1 or 2 goals, maybe three if we really push for it. And when you look at these games and you think about these games in terms of the context of the energy of the team and these other things, I'm not sure what it is because there's certain performance who will always perform regardless if it's a home or away, right? You'll see, like in the second half in this game, for instance, Gallagher came on and he was good, but obviously not outstanding, but he was good, and that's all I wanted from him, right? But in terms of dropping back, being able to pass and these other things, but what we wanted on a day was we wanted to see that Gallagher who was going to just take that little extra drive, dribble past 1 or 2 players, maybe crossing up or do something that we want from you to do. And I don't feel it's fair to put a lot of this responsibility on Gallagher because he was a substitute, but and especially because he was one of the better substitutes too. Um, but it's like one of those things where you sit back and you think about it, and it's like, oof, I really wish maybe something could have happened here and these other things. It's like Griezmann, for the however many times in a row he hasn't come off the bench and not played well. Okay, like I don't want to talk about it again. Um, what you call it? Korea was okay, but not quite. You know, he's not the same impact that you wanted off of Korea from the bench, and it's kind of dawning a little bit on me. It's just like, wait, his career is really leaving. Like I've been seeing this guy since I was a child, really. Well, like I guess not a child, but like a young boy. It's like I've seen him in Atletico for years, and now he's actually going, and I kind of feel bittersweet watching him play because it's just like I want you to get that extra goal. I want you to push that extra thing. I want I want people to respect you how you respected the badge over these years, and I think when you look at a lot of that second half, it's a shame because of what we saw from the other substitutes and what we were kind of hoping. Seattle Sounders in our head in terms of the preview of the Club World Cup, there was a sort of a thought process of maybe I'm not sure if we win or lose against PSG. We go into Seattle Sounders, maybe we test out some of the young boys, and then we go into Botafogo and try and finish it off and win or whatever. That was the plan in our head. We struggled against Seattle Sounders to get a 3-1 result. There was never a chance for a youth player to come in because if our main players aren't playing good, a youth player putting that shoulder and responsibility on a 17-year-old Taufik and 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 a 20-year-old Ryan is not the play, you know. So it's a shame. I wanted, so I'm so happy that they were here and they haven't been able to feature at all because our main players are playing like crap. And that second half kind of like showed. I was like, okay, well, Solat coming off. I guess that's unfortunate, but that he didn't get a goal. But all right, he didn't really do too much in the second half. Griezmann comes on, level drops. Okay, uh, it's just like Witsel comes on, he scores a goal immediately. Does good defending, no problems with Witsel. You had a fantastic time. Happy for you, Doug. I don't know. I can't even remember what Molina did in that game, to be honest. I don't remember when he came on, but he was on the pitch sometime. Well, a weird game, a weird result, a weird feeling because of the fact that we only have a 3-1 deficit, a 3-1 win. We now go into this game not really as positive as we should be because even if we lost against PSG, this should have been a nice. We reset. We should push into the next game. That's not what happened. Let's move on, I guess. So, what are your thoughts in terms of the feelings? I guess the feelings of after this game. What do you think it kind of implies going forward now, Alex?
I would say again, like it's never been easy for us as Atletico de Madrid fans because I still remember like just a few seasons ago, like we were literally struggling to get past UEFA Champions League group stages as well. We literally had to like wait until the last match day to at least to get past that group stage, make it to the knockout stages. I remember the matches against Porto, and then I mean, like we were literally relying on other teams as well. I remember this moment like where we were. It was Liverpool, AC Milan, and then Porto, and then it was us, and then we literally had to like get out of that group. And
The group of death.
exactly, and then I remember that Bayer Leverkusen game as well, which again we could have made it past the group stage. We missed a penalty, and then yeah, let's just not talk
Rashford.
about. Yes, let's just not bring back the trauma. But yeah, I mean, like we do leave it late. I mean, like again, like as an Athletic fan, like it's not something new. Again, I would say there are there are at least like five major signings needed at this club: center back, left midfielder, defensive midfielder, and a striker, a very clinical striker who can start every game. Because again, Solot can't be your main number nine. We have to go into the market for the main number nine, and the options Darwin Nunes maybe heading to Napoli. again, the options we are left with. The last time we had a rumor of Yuri Alberto from Corinthians. Again, he's a good player, but as a starter, I won't see him as a starter though. He's a really good guy though. Like he's 24. His linker play is really good. Like he's having a really good season with Memphis Depay as well. I would say
Mhm.
again we should actually like if we are like really saving money, let's say on the left back position and everything, we should actually like go for Victor Gyökeres as well. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens because again the transfer
Ooh,
market.
I
Yes.
have a question for you. How do you feel about your careers knowing that these Portuguese teams are not right now, as we're recording this, right? Benfica winning 1-0 against Auckland City, but Auckland City is an amateur team, right? So how do you feel about how do you feel about this whole situation right now?
Again, I would say Victor Gyökeres has that potential. Like I see it in him. I mean, like again, like Champions League, he's had like a really good season last season. Like it's not
Hmm.
like he scored against big teams as well. Man City, he scored a hat trick against Man City. So like
Right.
he do have that potential in him. I mean, like if you wanna go in that case, I mean, Porto lost to Inter Miami last night, which again, Samo
They
was
did.
playing in that, and Samo, like we most of us had like Samo as like like he's like we were
Fair
regretting
enough.
leaving him, but like last night when I saw Samo, I was like, you know what? Maybe we got that decision right because Samo had like a really terrible game last night.
I don't think it was
Uh,
terrible. I think it was good. But
yeah, but still, let's say
Porto,
like
in general, that was not a good performance.
let's say like we have to rely him for the season and like he's not really
Yeah.
performing that much. So I mean like I would say maybe we made a good decision. Maybe we cashed him in, which was a good decision. Maybe again like can't I mean like he scored over 20 goals this season obviously.
Yeah.
Like can't take that away from him. But again, I think Samu has a lot of room for learning, and again, like, and we don't have that much, let's say, space and time because again, we need a striker. We need a striker who can start, and Samu at the moment is not the striker who can start for a big team. That's for sure.
I don't
But
disagree with that.
but then anyway, guys, I think this is gonna get very longer. I think we will talk about the preview of the Botafogo game very soon, where we can talk about like how Atletico can qualify for the knockout stages. We'll talk about this in detail, and we'll have some latest news as well from the transfer market. Right now, there's maybe Cardoso can be done within this week or the next week. There are news coming on. Let's hope for the good things. And until then, do let us know your opinions. What do you think about the game? What do you think about the performance? And what do you think? Like, would we be able to score three against Botafogo? Again, I mean
Hmm.
that's a good. If that's like a good question. Like like we get in a reality show and then they go for a ad break. So this is literally that thing. We have this is an ad break going on for 3-4 days, and then we'll have the main climax on Monday. But until then, guys, do let us know, and then like, subscribe, and share, and don't be like Sorlot. Like not missing his chances. Don't miss your chances. Like, subscribe, share. Uh, Until then, Opatati guys. We'll see you guys soon.